All right, hello Padawans. My name is Mr. Specht.
And I'm Mrs. French.
And in today's video, we're going to be learning about... I forgot my line.
Line.
Oh, in today's video, we're going to be learning about line.
Smart you must be. Make art you must.
You might remember last time we were talking about the elements of art. That's line, shape, color, form, space, and texture.
That's right, and I think we came up with a really cool way to remember this. Luke Skywalker can't find Vader's stormtroopers. Just a very fun way to remember this. And today, we are going to be talking about Luke.
Line.
Oh, that's right. Today, we're going to be talking about line. So if you weren't aware, the way we define line in art and in graphic design and 2D and 3D art, the way we define line is the path a dot follows through space. It's the path that a dot follows through space. So the thing I always tell my students is, if you were to take the tip of your pencil and put it on a piece of paper, and then drag your pencil across the piece of paper, you've created a line. It's probably one of our most basic elements of art. I think
it's very hard to find a piece of art that doesn't include.
That's right. I mean, it's in just about everything, right? 2D, and we have some examples of 3D today. And Mrs. French came up with some really awesome artwork she'd like to talk about. What's the first one? Let's start with 2D.
In 2D art, I use DJ Dog by Keith Haring.
Okay.
And the reason I chose this piece of art is because Keith Haring is basically known as the guy who uses line.
Yeah, he does. And the stuff's very simple. Like line, it's very simple.
It is. It's very simple, but when people describe him, he is described as the guy who uses lines. And he uses tons of lines, thick lines, thin lines, big, bold lines. And DJ Dog is one where he uses diagonal lines, straight lines, curved lines, all different kinds of lines. And there are a variety of lines that you can use, and they're very important to your artwork.
If you look through a lot of his work, you can see, I mean, like you said, it's really throughout his work, the emphasis is on line. So great example for students, you know, if you have an opportunity, definitely look up some of his work, look up some of Keith Haring's artwork, and you're gonna get some incredible examples of line. Now, I think it's pretty easy. I mean, Keith Haring's just one example, but you can find many examples of 2D artists, painters, illustrators that use line. But 3D seems a lot harder to me.
It could be, but if you're taking a 3D art class, we always sketch our designs beforehand, and that's definitely putting our pencil to the paper and drawing it out.
That's absolutely right.
So we do always use line beforehand. Also, the sides of our sculpture are a line.
That's right. Oftentimes when we think about shapes and forms, we think about line being the determining factor of how the type of space they fill in. But in truth, I mean, line is just kind of always out there. What's your example for line that we can kind of go through and discuss today?
So the reason I chose this one is because it has a variety of lines for us to look at. It's by Claes Oldenburg and Cusi van Bruggen.
I like that name. Very good.
And it is called Knife Ship, and it's an installation actually, which an installation is actually a giant sculpture that fills up a space. And it's basically a Swiss Army knife that is also a boat. So, and the reason I chose it is because it has straight lines, curved lines, and because it's a Swiss Army knife, it also has that corkscrew, which is a curvy, springy line.
Spiral type of thing.
So lots of different kinds of lines in there.
Very good. So this is definitely something that if our students wanted to, they could kind of research a little bit more and see some more of his work.
Absolutely.
And again, I want to be clear here. These are just two examples of artists, 2D, 3D, that use line. But line, again, as I said earlier, is one of the most prevalent elements, and you're going to see it throughout a lot of your artwork. And the important thing to remember is, if a lot of older artists, a lot of famous artists use line, that most likely in your art classroom that you're taking right now, these art classes you're taking right now, most likely you're going to be using a lot of this element as well. I mean, I know I use it on almost every single project that I work on for class.
As do I.
So what did I learn from today's video? I learned that it is amazing, incredible to see how artists have used the element of line in their artwork.
And maybe next time that you're looking at art, whether it be on your phone or in a museum, you can keep your eye out for the element of line.
Yeah, and until next time, be smart, make art,
And may the course be with you
always.
Strong with the elements of art. This one is.